picking back up here. Gain has become to mean distortion, and you'll hear things like it's a high gain amplifier. This just means it's an amplifier that is set up to produce sounds with a lot of distortion. You know, good example of high gain sounds. Certainly the Smashing Pumpkins, a lot of super distorted high gain sounds. Eddie Van Halen, there's a lot of high gain stuff. Whereas a lower gain thing might be AC/DC, that's a little more natural sound. And then, of course, totally clean sounds like some of the Police stuff, or early Beatles stuff is totally clean, no distortion. So you hear things like high gain or the gain knob. Sometimes it's labeled gain. The way, Eric, you'll be achieving your distortion is this whole setup can occur in a pedal. And in fact, I don't know, to me it's just sort of a more logical way to do it. Because this preamp and the power amp are a very important thing to get right, and they're expensive. Whereas creating a distortion pedal can be very cheap, and you can go through some distortion pedals trying to find the one you like, or if you want to, or things like that, you can have multiple distortion pedals. And I just really, what has happened is when they put a volume knob here and a master volume here, they're basically building a distortion pedal into the amp, and that's what they started doing in the mid to late 70s, maybe even a little earlier than that. Okay, well, this is going to be a kind of a messy board, but again, the word gain is a very technical term which has gotten the slang definition of distortion. That's basically the way to see it. Truthfully, any volume knob anywhere in any piece of audio equipment, anything that makes things louder and quieter, is a gain knob. But what you're mostly hearing when people say gain is this is the knob that makes distortion, or gain is distortion, things like that. Okay, I hope that makes some sense. Again, your amplifier is rather simple. The signal comes in and it just has a volume knob that goes into the preamp, and then with no further volume knob goes into the power amp. So you're controlling the volume as it goes into the amp. And then if we want to make, then what we can just do is feed it a distorted signal with a distortion pedal. That's how it works.